I saw Monster Trucks, and Steve, you saw the movie titled Sleepless. That's what it's called. In Seattle. Sleepless in Seattle, starring Tom Hanks and probably Meg Ryan.
Mostly Meg Ryan.
And they talk about Dirty Dozen.
Yes, they do. Wow, you really are just running through the plot of that film.
Oh, well, I mean,
no, it's
Jim Brown is in Dirty Dozen.
It's just Sleepless, starring Jamie Foxx.
Oh shit! So you saw a worse movie?
Yeah, and it's gonna keep me up at night.
You've got mail. Let's
see who wins.
Are you ready for Movie Versus? Welcome to Movie Versus, the podcast where we pin two terrible movies in an all-out battle for the best of the worst. Here are your hosts, Tyler Lamb, Charlie Pixley, and Steve Channing. All on Movie Versus.
Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Versus, the podcast in defense of bad movies. My name is Tyler Lamb, and I'm here with my co-host Steve Janik. Steve, how's it going?
It's kind of not great. I smashed my finger in a door.
And I'm also with my co-host Charlie Pixley. What's up, Chuck?
Yeah, I got a paper cut, and
oh man,
it's pretty serious.
Are you all right?
I mean, I'll get there.
Yes, Charlie, we are all concerned.
Well, some of us have real problems, Steve.
Yeah, so, Steve, you need to. Wow, you're being real rude.
Get off your high horse.
That's. I can't believe
I could lose my fingernail.
Yeah, and Charlie could lose his entire finger. We don't know how severe his paper cut is.
Might lose your head because it's so far up your ass.
You're right.
That being said, on this podcast, we just give Steve shit. No, on this.
Wait a minute. Was that paper cut like a joke about that Linkin Park song? Are we getting too deep?
Oh wow! I'm surprised we didn't even make that reference.
I legitimately forgot that was a Linkin Park song title for a second.
Yeah, until you said it.
Yeah, for like 10 seconds.
Oh wait, no, that's the mix with Jay-Z.
Oh yeah,
that's Big Pimpin'. Yeah. Anyway,
it's destined to come together.
On this podcast, two of us try to make a couple of bad movies sound good, and we defend them in front of a third unbiased party to the most part, and we try to make the best defense we can.
I feel like unbiased is kind of something we can't say, considering we watch the trailers.
We're like fair enough.
Some of those trailers are damning in enough themselves.
We're like defense attorneys for shitty movies.
Yeah, we kind of are.
Or we know that our client just fucked up.
We're public defenders.
But we're doing our damnedest to just cover everything up and make them sound like a model citizen.
Well, let's just put it this way: we're worse lawyers than Joe Pesci.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
If that's the case, though, then with A Christmas Story 2, that movie would be easy because I would just plead insanity with like the Nazi rape fantasy and shit.
But then that movie would still have to go to like an asylum.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fine.
The production company Asylum. Where they would
it's seeking asylum in different countries.
Okay.
That's from where it came.
And again, Charlie is via Skype from the Ground Zero, Mississippi, and he's still just in the heat of it. He's undercover right now, so I hope I'm not blowing his load. But
yeah, it's gonna be The Shining here, not too far from now. All work and no play.
Okay.
Gonna go.
Oh, I thought you meant like a giant snowstorm.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I was like in Mississippi. That seems unlikely.
I meant me going insane.
At first, I thought snowstorm, and then my second thought was there's going to be a hedge maze. And so I was like, let's just wait for Charlie to end this one before I.
I don't even bother using the elevator anymore. It's a disaster every time.
That was the next place I was going to.
So this week, Steve and I each saw movies that are in theaters. I saw, as mentioned earlier, Monster Trucks, and Steve saw the film Sleepless in Seattle. And I'm surprised that they're still airing that in theaters. I feel like that was,
It just came out like a week ago.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. It's just Sleepless. Never mind.
Yeah. Sleepless in Seattle on its...
Sleepless in Seattle joke again.
On its 27th year in theaters.
Dude, it is just churning out money.
Guys. Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, shit. Another Sleepless in Seattle joke. He got us.
Boom. Third time the charm.
Yeah, I guess so. Although with all the classic movies coming to theaters, like rebroadcast, I would not be surprised if they throw Sleepless in Seattle up there soon.
So Steve, your movie starred T.I. and Jamie Foxx. Correct?
Yes, it did.
Where my movie starred Rob Lowe, Tom Lennon, Danny Glover, and Lucas Till. So I guess, it's obviously, whatever. If we're going by star power.
I had Dermot Mulroney.
Who? I had the girl from that movie we just saw, the one where they got to be quiet, the horror one.
Oh, yeah.
What was that called?
Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe. Yeah, the main girl is in this.
Oh, cool.
And she plays a high school student. Believable. Anyway, Charlie is the one who we have to convince. And
you go ahead and give your synopsis.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
All right, well, hold on a second. I got to get ready for this one. Give me a second. Let me just take off this this beanie. Charlie, do you see what I have once beanie is removed? I know you're via Skype. I'm not sure if you see
Yeah, I thought that was a glitch in the screen. I see you got like some doo-doo on your forehead.
It is a Monster Trucks tat. Steve, can you confirm that is in fact what is on my forehead?
I am just going to say that I have been around Tyler for the past 45 minutes, and I did not know that was there. I have been stunned to silence. And I'm just sitting here thinking, that's going to be fun to make sure is gone by the time he goes to his real job tomorrow.
It looks like you went to Ash Wednesday and Ray Charles was your priest.
Well, he has real taste then, if he spelled out Monster Trucks, the film that I saw.
Well, it just looks like a huge black smudge on your head for me.
Well, shit.
I'm dealing with 25 pixels over here.
Well, I'll make sure we will post this.
But I got to be honest, if you think it was Ray Charles, he still hit square in the forehead.
We will.
Maybe he was that one guy from the blind monk from Rogue One.
Oh, where the Force is with him?
Yeah.
And
also with you.
We will post this on the socials, on Twitter and Facebook, the At Movie Versus Podcast, so you can see pictures of what is on my face, and I guess Charlie will have to see those in order to... I guess it doesn't work as much as I was hoping it would. But this movie, what happens is Rob Lowe owns a oil company, and Tom Lennon is the scientist for this company, and they're drilling, and they realize that they're about to...
He doesn't have a lot going on after the Beatles broke up.
Yeah, exactly. Wrong Lennon. And they realize they're hitting.
Once the Soviet Union fell,
they realize they're hitting. They're about to hit water. So they're like, okay, hey, Rob Lowe, we got to stop because there could be, we can't drill through an ecosystem. Like there can't be life that we're drilling through or something like that. And Rob Lowe's basically like, fuck it, keep drilling. And he keeps drilling, and there's a bunch of shit that goes on, and that ends up with the monsters kind of come forward because they kind of get drilled.
This is the plot of 15 horror movies that they were just instead we'll put them in trucks.
Nickelodeon. And so two of them get captured where one doesn't get captured, and he ends up with Lucas Till, and Lucas Till kind of befriends him with the girl from Don't Breathe, and they team up to try to not only get back the captured two creatures, but also to save their whole ecosystem, because the oil company is planning to drop this poison into the water to kind of kill off the entire ecosystem there, so they can just keep drilling and get more oil. And
I figured the ecosystem would pretty much die if they just kept drilling anyway.
Yeah.
guys, I'm just trying to explain the plot.
Wait, I mean, what is the monster though?
The monster is one of the.
It makes it sound like the people are just like, oh, that's no big deal.
Well, no, the monster is from the. Well, no, I mean they capture two of them, but one gets away, and that's the one that runs into Lucas Till, and he, of course, at first is like, "What the fuck is going?" Because they thrive. They eat oil. Like that's their substance is oil.
Oh, of course they want them to die. They're eating their profits.
And Lucas Till works on a like in a junkyard with Danny Glover. And so he's like in this junkyard and like all their oil stuff and gas or whatever is getting eaten up, and he runs into the monster and then all this other stuff, and he runs into it and ends up he ends up befriending it in a roundabout way, and that's how he runs into it. Obviously, when he first sees it, he's like, "Oh, but like he's not like, oh, you little cutie," because it's like a big squid octopus.
No, yeah,
type
that thing's
monster.
terrifying.
Yeah, it's not
a normal.
I mean, his original plan was to kill it because he wanted to lure it onto the thing that crushes the cars that they do. So he like put oil
Fun for the whole family.
Yeah, he put oil.
That would have been hilarious.
He put oil and stuff onto that and lured it on there, and then like kind of saw it and was like, "Oh, this is actually it's not really trying to hurt me or anything. It just wants food." And he drops the controller and it breaks and it starts going down. He can't stop it, so he like saves it. And still the creature's freaking out, but he's like, "No, motherfucker, I saved you, you idiot."
After I tried to kill you.
Yeah, but
Idiot.
but yeah, so his initial plan was to kill it. So yeah, it wasn't just these things are cute from the get go.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do have one quick question though, Tyler.
Oh yeah, sure.
What was Danny Glover's opinion on his age for what was happening?
Honestly, surprisingly, he seemed like he felt he was appropriately aged for his job qualifications.
Okay, good.
He not once complained.
That is incredibly surprising.
Agreed. And somewhat disappointing.
Because I'm pretty sure in the bucket list he was like, "Why am I not dead yet?"
In the bucket list of things that he has to do for each movie role, it says that I had to say I'm too old for this shit.
He said it in the trailer for Almost Christmas, his last movie that just came out.
Is it a list if it's just one thing?
As long as there's a checkbox next to it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well played.
So that's the plot of my movie. Danny Glover, appropriately aged.
Steve.
All right, so for the basic plot of my movie is it starts off with the holdup. Like Jamie Foxx and T.I. just immediately steal $7 to $8 million worth of cocaine, like right off the bat.
Oh shit!
And
that's a lot.
It's just a whole lot, which is funny because they open up the back of the van, like, "Get the bag," and they open up this truck, and it's just like one duffel bag. But I mean, it is like it's 50 or it's 25 kilos of cocaine. But it's so funny because just like swimming in the back of a. Not swimming.
Yeah,
like, yeah. I was like a pool, like.
But it's in the back of like a truck, and it just looks so tiny in the back of like an entire Suburban for itself. Anyway, so after that, they find out that they stole the cocaine from the big cartel. Like they thought they were stealing it from a smaller player, but it ends up that cocaine was going to a much larger player. He was getting a supply from these guys, and so now. Because of that, the casino mobster that they're dealing with kidnaps Jamie Foxx's son and is like, "Give me my stuff, or I'm killing your son." At the same time, Internal Affairs is looking into Jamie Foxx for it, and it's basically almost the entire movie is in the casino of him trying to avoid both Internal Affairs and the mobsters trying to kill him while getting the cocaine back to give to the mobsters to get his son back.
So it's really
sounds like a real stand-up guy.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a kind of story that everybody can relate to.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times this happened to me last week alone.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's
I really love coming of age stories.
To be fair, his son is 16, so for him it's a coming of age story where he nearly gets murdered in a casino.
Oh man, I remember when I was 16. Is that?
You're
I'm
such
not.
a late bloomer.
I mean, I feel like there are some twists and turns that I do kind of want to save for like the proper moments. So
All right,
I'll leave that for there for now, and when the questions come up, I will blow your minds.
Oh, what a. Okay.
Okay, here we go. I'll ask you this next question first, Steve. Why would your question... My bad. Why would your movie be a good one to take your grandkids to? If you had grandkids.
Oh, God.
What do you mean, if?
I feel like this one is drastically skewed towards Tyler's film. But,
No, you'll see.
Okay, so the reason it would be good to take my grandkids to is because it turns out, twist, Jamie Foxx was undercover for internal affairs and was trying to figure out who was supplying or who was keeping the mob safe in the police bureau, and everything he does is to keep his son and wife safe. So taking your grandkids to that will show them that the people in their family who love them most will be willing to go to any lengths to help and protect them.
Okay. I thought you were going to say all the gratuitous violence, but to each their own. All right, Tyler. Why would your movie be great to take your grandparents to?
I mean, it's just got great family values and it's great family fun. It's all about, cute little animals that they befriend. It's all about, being nice to the
cute little? I thought they were like huge.
Oh yeah, they are huge.
They
Sorry,
are the size of trucks.
They are really big, but they're cute. They're cute animals, and it's all about just kind of everybody coming together and being a good person and being not just killing off these animals that aren't doing any harm and all.
They're eating our oil, Tyler.
I mean, it's all about. It is a family movie. I mean, it's made by Nickelodeon. It's a family movie.
Oh, was it really made by Nickelodeon?
Yeah, it's a Nickelodeon production. And I mean, come on, my grandparents, I'm sure, well, not my grandparents specifically, but a lot of people's grandparents, this age demographic of grandparents would probably be fans of the show MacGyver. And Lucas Till is the modern age MacGyver. So I'm sure they want I'm sure they'd just love to see it.
That was circuitous at best.
You know what? I mean, it was a lot.
Now I'm just insulting you with words you don't know, so you can't defend
Damn
yourself.
it! You knew that I wasn't sure what the definition... Where's Alexa that I can ask her what the definition of circuitous is? Circuitous?
Okay, next question. Tyler, tell me, how sassy is this alien?
Well,
does it have its own personality, really, or is it kind of just a
I mean,
dumb
he's
blob?
not... He's of this planet, so it depends on how you define
what is it, like
alien.
a squid?
It is like a squid creature, because it is a water-based creature.
But it can smile, which is important.
Yeah.
I mean, no, when creatures can't smile, that's when people just kill them outright.
I would say he's not very... well, I guess I'm assuming it's gender. It's not very...
Don't make me quit this podcast.
It's not so much sassy as it is just playful, if that makes sense. Like it is very
There's no like sexual tinge to it then. That's what you're saying.
well, I mean,
This was a movie for children.
So yes, there was a lot of sexual tension. No, there
Mickey Rooney production.
I mean, those tentacles could be used in all types of ways. No, there wasn't any sexual.
Normally, I would be making a joke, but I am just stunned.
Just like he was when I took off my beanie to reveal my tat. And I would say that, it was more of just playful cuteness than there was sassiness. I mean, there's that scene where there's a lot of there's a lot of intricacies that are hard to explain as far as to how they're controlling the trucks. There's kind of a symbiotic type relationship where like Lucas Till can control the wheel at some points if he calls him Creech. He names it Creech
because he's real original.
Yeah. If Creech is sticking to just like how Lucas Till modded the truck, then Lucas Till can control it via the wheel. But Creech can still take over everything, and sometimes he'll just be like, "Oh, I'm taking over everything," and they'll be like, "Creech, what are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh,
It's like Bumblebee."
Yeah, actually, yes. I would say that there's a lot of it is very similar to Bumblebee in that manner. Yes, that is a good comparison. I didn't even think about that.
Which is funny because I just rewatched the first Transformers.
That's
recently.
hilarious, Steve.
I know. A funny coincidence. Not.
Did Jamie Foxx have that typical cool guy swag and some sass of his own?
Of course.
Well, shit, I lost.
First of all, he was driving a GTO, which
Because I hate that.
All right, I'm turning off my mic.
which is the like. It's funny because he's driving a GTO at the very beginning, which is like the international cool guy symbol. But he was driving a GTO with like a mismatched door, which is like the international douchebag symbol.
Wait, so the doors were a different
matte
color?
gray paint.
No,
just
the
on
left
door.
the left door was like mismatched.
Perfect.
Anyway, there is a scene where when he's going to take the cocaine in because he's afraid that he's of course going to get murdered by this drug lord. He goes into the bathroom and hides some of the drugs in the ceiling, and that way he can like here's some of it. Give me my son back. We'll take you to the rest of it, so you can't kill us up here in the privacy of your penthouse. So he goes up there and talks to him, and when he does that, the internal affairs agent who's been following him, she goes in and steals the rest of it. And so he's got to he goes back in there, and there's a bathroom attendant in there, and he's like, "Did anyone come in here?" And he's like, "Yeah, that police lady went in the exact same stall you were in, and did something." And he's like, "Where did she go?" And the guy's like, "I'm not telling you that. Give me a tip." He points to his tip bin, and Jamie Foxx just slaps it off the table. He's like, "You tell me where she went." And it turns out that the bathroom attendant is a very large man. So he has to give him his father's watch and really smooth things over, which is the exact cool guy thing that Jamie Foxx is known for. Making sure whenever anyone's mad at him, he smooths it out real nice, real quick.
I just want to say that while Steve was saying all this stuff, I thought while watching him, "Oh shit, what happened to Steve's fingernail?"
Which, if you had just listened to me, I hate you so much right now.
It's bruised from hitting the play button on his CD player for Linkin Park too much.
Yeah, and it's my ring finger, which means I've gone through my pointer and middle finger. They're both no longer useful for that.
You have one dedicated to Boy Next Door for the DVD player, one dedicated to Linkin Park, another for purely Jizzbox music,
and one for just clicking searching Bush on the internet. I'm glad.
Yes, that's
not even anything specific.
Those are the four things I do with my day. Just every morning, wake up.
And there's a halo hanging on the corner of your girlfriend's four-post bed. Every single one.
I'm unfamiliar with that reference.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you are.
Was that song written and or performed by Linkin Park?
Touche. It was not.
Wish.
It should have been.
Joke's on you. At the one concert of Linkin Park I went to, they played it.
just the DJ played it before Linkin Park came on stage.
Oddly enough, there was a DJ at the beginning of the thing.
Are you sure it just wasn't the DJ in Linkin Park?
Yeah.
No. It was a set of DJs called the Executioners.
Oh shit. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, you can go first on this one. Now, I've never asked this kind of question before, so
Oh.
you can take your time with it a little bit.
Thank you.
If your movie had, and Tyler, you'll be getting the same thing. If your movie had a themed restaurant, what would the best-selling kids menu item be, and what type of container would it be served in?
What do you mean by container?
Like you go to Fitz's and they serve your fries and burger in
Okay.
a car container.
Okay, so
because
you're-
it's old 1950s,
You're
or a
s-
baseball helmet or anything.
So you're saying more of like a fast food restaurant kind of thing?
Yeah, just like a themed restaurant, or like a rainforest cafe or something.
Okay, I feel it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not a very popular item around among children, but it would probably first of all, it would be served in a box, like a nice clean box to open it up. But the item would be tongue, because at some point in the movie, one of the big mob boss guy, the big drug dealer, he cuts the tongue out of his cousin's mouth for snitching on them to the DEA. And when he's trying to get his cocaine back from the casino head, he basically pulls this box out and sets it on the bar and has him open it up to reveal that if he doesn't get him his cocaine, he is going to murder him.
So what's it going to be served in?
The box.
Oh, just a box.
Just
Okay.
a plain black, clean box. You open it up.
You and Alter
tongue in the
feel like
box.
a Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you
Okay.
are you done, Steve? Then is that? I'm just making sure before I start mine.
I think
Such a
that's
stupid question.
Okay. All right. Well, then mine is a child can order the monster truck special, and they will get a monster truck, a little toy monster truck. But if they
will be fed oil.
and if they turn it over, there's fried calamari attached to the bottom of this monster truck that they can eat, and
You know what, like super glue?
and there is a sauce that goes with it that is black like oil that you can just pour on top of the fried calamari, and they can eat it, and then
Most
they can
people
keep
call that soy sauce.
and they can keep the toy truck when they're done, so they can go
Oh,
home.
I
and-
thought the truck was edible. I was like, is this truck made of taco shells?
No, the
or
truck is a
something?
toy, so they can just play with the truck. Is it made of taco shells? No, it's. I almost wish it was. That would be impressive. But no,
Everybody knows taco shells go so well with fried calamari. And
Well, that's why I
figured
was
the
really
sauce would actually be liquid smoke. Right?
Oh God.
that is my theme children's toy, and yeah, that's what I got.
Wow.
So it surprisingly didn't take as long as you probably thought it might have. Charlie, we both came up with an answer pretty quickly.
The only
Yeah,
thing
you
is,
said the calamari to go to.
No, yeah, I thought mine was kind of easy, just the calamari, but I that's why I added on with the other stuff.
I would like to point out that Charlie was rubbing his eyes like he was like, God damn it. No one would eat either
Not
of
my
these
eyes,
things.
Did you say those aren't his eyes? Oh shit.
So, okay, Tyler, just kind of give me your points as to why I should see this movie. Why I should specifically. Like, why do you think I would really like to go see this?
Well, this is a real movie that you can take a child to, and I know you love to kidnap children, so you can.
And then you have to calm them
Shut up,
down
man.
afterwards.
So you can just take them to monster trucks. No, it was I mean it was just kind of.
Or you could just go to monster trucks and steal a kid there.
Well, no, if I'm being serious, it was just stupid fun. It was a lot of cool cars, but at the same time, there was Tom Lennon is funny to me. I mean, I think he's a funny actor, so he's the kind of guy that can just kind of be in a scene and it'll either be good, like that scene in The Dark Knight Rises where he's like, "You broke."
I was just going to say, he stole the show in that whole movie.
Well, I mean, in that scene, you're like, "Oh, he's believable as a doctor." But then if he's being funny, oh, hey, he's funny. Like he does a good job. He's like a Bob Odenkirk in that sense, in my opinion, where he's good at being a dramatic actor. But then if he needs to be funny, he's excellent at being funny. Like
No, I do agree with
he's
that.
really good at juggling those two sides of the spectrum. And wow, Steve, juggling balls as always. But
Sorry, bowling pins, chainsaws, other things people juggle, torches.
Handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
I knew.
Anything that there are three of. I named two things.
Scarves.
Can you juggle two things? I guess with one hand.
Yeah.
Yes. Balls.
Yeah, I
Full
answered.
circle.
Yeah, I was going to say I answered my own question, I suppose.
Got him. I rest my case.
But yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
if it's just like you're not doing shit on like I did, you're not doing shit on a Sunday morning. You're wanting to go to the movies, and you're like, oh hey, it's less than $5 to go see this movie. Then you can pick monster trucks, and you get a free pack of tattoos.
When they gave that to you, did they look around to see if there was a child you were going to hand them to?
No, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny because I bought the ticket. I was like, one to monster trucks, please. And she was like, okay. And then I walked into it was one of those theaters where you buy the ticket, then you walk into the area. And so I walk in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is where I got to go to get my ticket torn. And I start walking over there, and I just hear, sir. And I turn around, and the same lady that I bought the ticket from is like coming to this desk,
no.
and she's like, here you go. And I'm like, what? And
She ran you down to give you those?
yes. So she says, here you go. And I'm like, huh? And she hands it to me, and I just look, and I go, oh, thanks.
You looked so excited to see that movie that someone left their position.
I honestly think that I'm almost convinced that she didn't give these to every single person that came into the theater. She just saw that I was just like, yeah, monster trucks, whatever. She was like, oh, I'm going to give him these free.
Here's to brighten
I'm
your
gonna
day,
turn this
sweetie.
guy's day around.
Well, I mean, if we're at that point, I mean, Steve, can you tell Charlie what you're seeing right now? Hold on a second.
Oh, I was hoping.
It is a tramp stamp with a monster truck, like one of the actual trucks with the monster
Turn
in
around
it.
for me.
That you can't I can guarantee you can't see this, but it says rev up. The fact that it says rev up is by far the best part of that.
Oh,
It's
I
a
know.
lenticular tattoo too, so when you bend over, it changes.
I mean, it really goes
It's
well
actually-
with all my Melissa Joan Hart tattoo on my chest.
Yes, it does. Like the best
Yeah,
part
I
of
mean,
it
that
is
really dwarfs it, but yeah.
I think the best part is that it's like a command. Like you go out into the world and you bend over and your shirt rides up and the guy behind you just sees rev up. And how is he not supposed to respond to that?
I mean,
Too many
it's
jokes. I
hundreds
don't know
of
what to
thousands
say.
of DNA programming in our bodies. You see that, and you're like, "Wow, shit, I guess I'm getting hard right now."
Is now a good time to talk about how Tyler is going to be in the sequel to Wedding Crashers and he's going to be chased down by Vince Vaughn?
I mean, I wish. That'd be awesome. I don't get the joke, but I'd love it.
Just because you have tramp stamp.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
gonna get
Yeah.
he gonna get revved up.
I mean, that's the plan. That's why. I mean, this isn't a temporary tattoo. This is
Well,
the real deal.
It was temporary, but as soon as you put it on, you immediately went to a tattoo
Yeah, I
parlor
was-
and just had him trace
I
right
was
over
like,
it.
you know what? This fits. But yeah, Charlie. I mean, if you want to rev up, you would go see this movie. And if there's anything I know about you, it's that you're constantly looking for reasons to rev up.
I want Tyler to return to that theater, show that poor woman where you put that tattoo and be like, thank you.
And she'll say, "Who are you?"
Most likely.
Sir, I'm calling the police.
I'd like to see you walk up to the box office, just be like, "Hey, remember me?" And then she goes, "Yep." And then you just turn around and start bending over, lifting up your
Again,
All right, Steve.
this will also be a photo of my tramp stamp will also be added to the socials. So if you want to see
hell
them,
yeah.
go
Oh,
check
God.
them out.
Does that mean I have to take a picture of them?
No, I'll post it.
Okay, good.
You already have tons of mental ones.
Yeah, just use those.
So, Steve,
Yes.
Same thing. You know, what sets your movie apart? How is this not just like another Taken or something like that?
Well, honestly, like
Like what would I like about this movie?
the action was actually super awesome. I thought it had some shaky cam, which normally I'm not a huge fan of, but they did it really well. And they kind of like added a little extra to the shaky cam that I'm not used to. They kind of used it as part of like as a beat in the action. So he was fighting there. He's running away with his son. Like he gets his son out because he originally, when he can't find the cocaine, he sneaks off into the kitchen area and basically makes new cocaine blocks out of sugar.
I think we've all been there.
And he puts it in a bag and he messes with the bag so that you can't like zip it open. And at the same time, he orders champagne for the room and tells them that narcotics is coming up, so that they're kind of rushed out of the room, so he can at least get out of there and go get his son really quickly before like everything comes crashing down again. So while he's doing that, after he gets his son, they're like, "Oh man, don't let him leave with his son yet. He didn't give us the actual drugs. Get him." So he's being chased throughout the casino again by one of the bodyguards. And in one of the fights, they're fighting, and at one point he gets picked up and thrown to the ground, and kind of like flipped over and thrown on the ground. And when they do it, as he's landing, like the camera kind of turns and like stops short, and just kind of like really gives you that hit feeling of like just slamming into the ground like he is. And I thought it wasn't overdone to the point where like I just felt like I was getting tossed around. But it really did give a nice punctuation mark to a lot of the action sequences.
Steve, you may not know the answer to this, but we watched the trailer, and the trailer featured a Drake song. How much Drake was in the actual film?
I honestly can't tell you.
All right, fair enough.
They actually just played one dance throughout the entire movie, but slowed it down to the point where it takes the entire length of the movie, so you can't really tell that's being played.
In the casino, there is a club that they do go through 2 to 3 times. So I'm sure Drake. I couldn't identify most Drake songs, just if you play them.
Fair enough.
So like some of those may have been Drake songs.
I knew that asking the question. I was just I had to know. So
I understand. So yeah, like I just thought the camera work on the action sequences was better. Was good enough that I noticed it that when I was watching through it.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you guys have any final points you'd like to make? Either of you, any other special moments or anything? I know, Tyler, you got to skim through all your notes.
Yeah, just give me a second here. Well, I guess, Steve, I already kind of see some of my notes. Well, I guess I just one more special moment. Steve, if you don't mind telling everybody what you're seeing right now.
Oh, my God.
I need to, oh, God. It is, wow. It is a front tramp stamp. And it is a frontal view of a car, and it just says under the hood.
No. It says.
I don't want to get closer.
It says.
Oh, oh God. It says monster under the hood. So.
Yes.
Wow.
Should have put it on your gooch, dude.
What's that, Charlie?
Should have put it on your gooch.
Well, I mean, I tried with one, but you know, that's.
I'm not.
So, Steve, tell the people what. No, there's no gooch one. I'm kidding.
I cannot tell the people anything because I did not look. I have my limits.
Steve, what are you doing with that bleach? Nah, dude.
I had a good run. Pretty soon, I'll be rich.
Yeah, so.
Oh, man. I was just saying you're going to blind yourself. I didn't think you were going to use it, like, drink it and kill yourself. Those would be some bad tattoos.
Wow.
I mean, well, one of my final thoughts is the fact that I tattooed the name of the movie to my fucking forehead. So I feel like that is some redeeming quality of this movie. I'm a pure fan. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's whatever. It's a Nickelodeon movie. I don't know what else to say about it other than it is It is a not like child movie, but I would say pre-teen, early teen, like late, maybe like 9 to 14 is like the demographic for this movie. The ones that, and you just like those kind of, big cars, like just doing fucking flips. And I mean, there's a scene where these cars do flips.
Sunday.
They do flips over these mountains. They do fucking 1080s. They do kickflip McTwists. Like they're fucking.
How do they
Over
kickflip?
mountains?
No, it's just a joke. No, he does kickflip because he's about to run into something and he literally kickflips. Oh, or no, I guess he heel flips over the other. Oh, I just hit my mic. Sorry, listeners.
That's because that's how intense this
he goes over the car that's like trying to run him into the like rocks and lands bolts, mind you. Perfect landing. And the other car's like, oh my God, what a great landing. And then he runs straight into the rocks. And there's a lot of great tricks, No tips, but a lot of tricks.
Oh man.
But my final thought would just be that they all. I mean, there was no acting in the movie where I was just like, oh boy. Like, I mean, the actors did their job. They acted. They didn't do anything terrible. We've got.
Now I'm just imagining some of them being like, "Hello, I am this person," and we're like, "Dang it, not again."
But that would be if they were bad. I mean, you
I know.
got Rob Lowe, you've got Tom Lennon, you got Danny Glover, Lucas Till, the girl who played Holly in The Office.
Nice.
Is Lucas Till's mom. The girl from Don't Breathe is the love interest. I mean, you got Creech as the creature. I mean, all the actors.
You got Creed doing the soundtrack.
God, I wish. You don't think I would have mentioned that already?
That's a good point. That would have been a selling
as they're doing the flips off the mountain. Can you take me higher?
Oh, I thought you meant Creed from The Office.
Creed covering Creed songs.
Shit.
I don't really have
And
much
to be
else.
fair, Creech would be like, "Yes, I can take." I mean, like, are we not high enough? This is really high.
I am real high.
I just like the idea of a monster truck doing a heel flip over a mountain.
No. He did a heel flip over another truck. He did a backflip off of a mountain.
You said over a mountain at one point, which makes me think that it is going like over the entire Rocky Mountains.
Okay, no.
Doing flip,
Sorry.
flip.
He did a backflip off of a mountain, and then another one did like a 360, maybe a 1080 off of a mountain, because they're like trying to get to the area where they're gonna poison the other ecosystem below. So they're like, we got to get there quick. We can't just drive, down the road. Let's just fucking ramp off this shit.
Let's 1080 off a mountain.
Well, and that's that scene we saw in the trailer where they're going off and like a tire, flies off and the creature grabs it and brings it in. I mean,
And also, how does that work, by the way? Does that thing have like a lug nut wrench somewhere?
well, and that kind of goes into the whole intricacies of how the creatures were
just kind of fused.
because what happened was, I mean, Charlie, do you care to know about how they actually worked with the?
Sure.
All right, so hold on, let me just scoot up here.
Time for science, boys.
So
Get a whiteboard.
Let me get tucked in.
these creatures were I think they can't really move just on their own, like, because they're squid-like creatures. Like he finds out because
They use the trucks as an exoskeleton.
Well, to an extent, yeah. To the extent where he can be on the trucks like axles and everything, and he can just like kind of push with his tentacles, and that kind of leads to Lucas Till being like, "Oh, I can move this truck that I've been trying to repair. I can make it move if I fit it to make him more comfortable." Where he's like, "Oh, I can kind of hide in here, but at the same time, I can move around." But then he also realizes that so I don't know what the technical term is, but most like normal squids have the like suction cups on their their like arms. Mm-hmm. The suction cups on these squids' arms have when they touch something, they can kind of like expel this kinetic energy. Okay. So when they're wrapped around the axles, they can actually move the wheels on the car.
Huh.
And so then he like kind of retrofits his entire truck to be like he retrofits his entire truck to be like, oh, I've got these certain things where you have more breathing room. If I hit this, it's this little thing that kind of like makes you be like, oh, I'm gonna jump because I'm like getting hit with some like just air pressure or something where it surprises him and jumps. And then he has like a little, because they feed off of oil, he has an oil tanker that kind of goes directly, and he's like, oh, here's some oil. And at one point he fills them up with gas, and we kind of saw that in the trailer where he looks at the couple that pulls up, and he's like, oh, nice truck. And he's like, oh, thanks. And in that scene, he uses the girl's card to pay for the gas, which, by the way, in this scene, I don't think Lucas Till has ever had to pay for gas in his entire life because he had so much trouble swiping that card. And that he was like, it like dropped, like, oh, okay, I got it done. And
does it show how much he bought?
And yes, he sits there and feeds this gas to Creech, and then he looks at the cost. And it was like $389, and he was just like, oh, huh? He gets back in the car, doesn't say a word to the girl, and just keeps on driving. And it turns out, like, Creech gets super, like, hyper and hyped up and is, like, freaking out. And they're like, what's his problem? And they're like, well, you gave him gasoline. Yeah, that's oil, but it's also a shit ton of other stuff. And he's like, oh, no.
High fructose corn syrup.
Exactly. But, yeah, so... I mean, that's why you should see this movie, Charlie.
Steve, do you have any final points?
Yeah, actually, so like a lot of these movies, once you kind of take away the people who are obvious good guys and bad guys, and like they redeem Jamie Foxx's character, there's still the question of who the person is that's giving all the information to the mob and the drug dealers.
Oh, was it Rob Lowe for you too?
No.
Oh.
But it is the only character left that like is actually billed in the movie.
T.I.?
No. T.I. was already a bad guy. Like we knew that at the beginning.
Okay.
But he
Wow, dude.
Spoilers.
But the internal affair, like the main internal affairs agent, her partner ends up being the informant. And at the end of the movie, they're taking in the casino owner. They're taking in the casino owner, and the other internal affairs agent is in the front seat, and the bad one's in the back seat. And Jamie Foxx pulls out like a phone with a message from the bad guy and plays it for her on his phone. And so she tries to pull her gun on him. He steals the gun from her and just shoots her like square in the gut. Kills the casino owner, and then like puts on a seatbelt and shoots the guy driving the car, and just crashes the car and comes out as like, he got my gun from me, shot everybody, but I wrestled it from him and shot him in the face, but everybody else died. And then the internal affairs agent like crawls out of the car and is like, arrest that douchebag. And it's just like a real intense, bloody, horrific scene. And
so you're real aroused.
Yeah, it was awesome. And before that, there is a gun battle in the parking garage from the drug dealer, who's just a crazy dude. Just pulls out, like, gets a gas mask and an assault rifle with a rocket propelled grenade like launcher on it, and is just shooting tear gas all over the parking garage and just lighting things up. And it's just a crazy, a lot of the action sequences in this movie were reminiscent of like John Wick. Like it's like John Wick, but like maybe a third of the action with like some storyline involved. Like it was pretty intense. I was surprised at how good of a fighter Jamie Foxx was, because he was just like, there were times where I was like, oh man, that was a good looking punch.
Well, I mean, you saw Ray.
Yeah, the story of Sugar Ray Leonard.
Which is the prequel to Collateral, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No,
and that one where he's
Lawless. Wait, no, not
Jello
Lawless.
player.
What's the one where he's in jail and with Gerard Butler? Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That one, which is in that universe.
Yeah, no, but overall, I thought the action was really cool in this movie. The story was better than I thought it was because I thought he was just gonna be like a piece of shit cop that was like, oh man, I don't have my son anymore, and I'm like, why should we care? Like, you're a jerk. Like, yeah, we don't want your son to die, but like, you're not a good hero. But overall, they kind of like it was a pretty solid movie. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it.
Can I make a comment real quick and just say that I went to school with someone who her favorite movie was Law Abiding Citizen. Silence. Yep, that was pretty much.
No, yeah, that's it. That's how people should react. That's somebody's favorite movie.
Like you said that, and all I could think about was like that scene where like the like cell phone blows up the judge's head.
Somebody says that, and you think, "Have you seen other movies?"
Like, I think I have accidentally seen better movies than that.
That's not even the best Gerard Butler movie. And that is
very true.
That is digging at the bottom of the barrel. If you're saying the best Gerard Butler movie,
that's of every person that I can identify in that film, that is not their best film.
Obviously that like Soccer Dad movie where he was that's his best movie.
Yeah.
Is that the name of it? I feel like I should know the name of it.
Soccer Dad?
I don't know. I was making a joke
Kicking
about
and
it.
Screaming?
No, that's Will Ferrell.
I know it's Will Ferrell.
He played a movie where he was like a dad and it was like soccer. Charlie, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. Probably had Katherine Heigl in it or something.
That's not,
no, probably. You guys keep talking.
I was thinking The Ugly Truth. Well, I was like, Ugly Truth has got to be at least better than Law Abiding Citizen.
I'm surprised you even know the name of that.
Are you really? Are you really surprised by that fact?
That's what I'm saying.
Not really. You're right.
You don't think Steve? You're surprised Steve knows the entire filmography of Katherine Heigl? Like, I'm surprised that. Oh, Playing for Keeps is what it's called. By the way, that's the movie I was talking about.
Thank God I will be able to rest
in that?
What's that?
Is Jennifer Aniston in that?
She is not, but Jessica. You better believe it because Jessica Biel is in it. Biel. It.
No, I think I can't think of what you're talking. I can't think of the name of it, Charlie. But you're thinking of that movie where
it's
where
like
she's like
the
like a bounty hunter or something.
Because that's what it's called, the bounty hunter.
It's called Bounty Hunter.
Yes. You're thinking of that movie. You're thinking of that movie.
Gerard Butler's been in 3 kinds of movies. That's it. Just made with different actors in them.
Yes.
Like that wasn't
like Gamer.
That wasn't silence. That was me like legitimately trying to think of a 4th type.
Yeah, no, there's. I mean, I think you're being generous when you say 3 types.
there's like your Katherine Heigl, Jennifer Aniston type, and then there's the Gamer, London Has Fallen, all that one, and then just 300.
So 300 is its own system. Like I think there's an argument to be made to like put
Gods of Egypt.
And,
I was
and
gonna
300
say
together.
Okay, I was gonna say Gods of Egypt and 300 together, just because they're both.
Oh shit! I forgot it was.
Well, I think it's because most people forgot that movie existed.
The only reason you forgot about that is because it avoided being on the podcast somehow for weeks on end.
I don't know if it was it in the run-ins when we started?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It was no. I think we had it in the original and maybe the second week, or maybe we didn't do it at all because we were like, it's just
this
too
movie.
Bad. No. I think we were thinking it would be, but it was already out of theaters.
Sounds about right. We haven't even gotten to the fucking verdict. We've done our final thoughts, and we've gone on a goddamn.
If you don't think Gerard Butler is distracting enough for it.
I'm gonna have to take a screenshot and show you what I see.
Damn it! I'm sitting here pointing to the forehead tat.
I put a lot of thought into this.
I look like fucking Lil Wayne over here.
This one was, yeah, in so many ways. God damn it! This one was really close, actually. But I think the thing that puts it over the edge, and I'll explain my choice. I am gonna go with monster trucks.
Yes! Yes!
Not for the tattoos though, because I don't take that into account because that doesn't benefit the movie. My thing is that Sleepless didn't have enough to put me over the edge as far as making it seem different in any sense. Like everything that I heard, I guarantee it's a better quality made movie than Tyler's. But as far as just even a gimmick or something,
A unique movie experience.
Yeah, if it were like even like I don't know, make it something weird like a Hanukkah themed movie. It all happens during that or something, like
They're all sleepless on the 14th night.
Or maybe Christmas. Like maybe Ben Affleck and Gary Sinise are involved. Charlize Theron.
Yes. Honestly, but no, something like that. And I was thinking, like, Steve will probably get this if it has just, like, one thing. Even the twist, that's still pretty textbook. Even if it had, like, one thing that pushed it over the edge, that then it's like, oh, okay, that had a unique spin on it or something.
I can assure you that did not occur.
By the way, wait, the twist you said?
No.
Oh, okay.
The unique
Hold on.
thing.
I want to go back a little bit. I said is Hanukkah 14 nights or 12 nights? Because when I said the 14th
8
night,
crazy nights.
shit, you're right. Holy fuck. I didn't even, wow. Okay. Yep, I'm an idiot.
Crazy nights.
Wow.
Straight weeks of party.
Okay, I'm just glad we cleared that up because I said 14 and I was like, wait, I feel like that's wrong. So I want to go back and make sure that we make that right. Like Adam Sandler did.
We were getting so many
that was
in Jerusalem too. Shit.
That was a technical foul. Me saying that it was 14 nights.
Yeah. What kind of crazy menorah do you have that has 14 candles on it?
That's what made me think, wait a second. I don't
That
think...
is an unmanageable amount of menorah arms.
I was like, I feel like that's a
fire hazard.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like it's a larger menorah than I've ever seen. Which I was right. So I'm glad that we rectified that.
No.
What a great joke, right, guys?
Get out.
It's my podcast.
And your apartment.
I didn't make that joke.
All right, so Charlie picked me. That's all that matters. Monster Trucks wins.
It wasn't because of the tattoos.
No,
I did not consider your case at all.
I'm going through my notes to see if there was. I'm going through my notes to see if there was something to make this movie.
Who do you want to hear from first, Charlie?
Let's go with Steve.
Okay, Steve, go ahead.
Honestly, the movie wasn't that bad. Like the plot and the production and the action in the movie wasn't bad.
That's what I figured, but then it's just like boring though.
No. What was legitimately bad was like the continuity of things that were occurring. Because like they're in the casino.
So the actual plot.
No. It's like no. Not like the kind like they didn't take into account things that would really happen in real life. So like they're in the casino and there's been gunshots in the casino. At some point, Jamie Foxx gets into a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something and drives through the floor of the casino and like goes through some back hallways to get into the garage, which I didn't talk about because it made no sense.
Well, that's not even fair because at that point they're just filming Jamie Foxx be him.
So there's like gunshots in the casino. The casino's being evacuated. At this point, there are at least 2 found bodies in the parking garage of the casino, and Jamie Foxx's ex-wife comes in and like gets a ticket and goes into the garage and is like, "Where is he?" And like stumbles in on the scene where there's a guy with like an assault rifle. Yeah, there's a guy with an assault rifle just spraying bullets in this thing, and she just like easily gets in there. And I was like, there is no way she could get anywhere near this casino. Like this whole block would be locked down at this point. Also, at the very beginning of the movie, when they like run down the car, they like drive the car down and like push it into an embankment and get out and like attack him to steal the cocaine. I'm like, I don't care what time of day it is. This is Las Vegas. There should be people everywhere.
Oh, 24/7.
Yeah, they're screeching down at least 5 or 6 blocks, and there is literally not a single car or person in sight.
Which Fast and Furious movie was that? Where they raced between the lights in Las Vegas? Yeah, I think it might have been 4 or 5 where they were just like, because I mean it was definitely Vin, Paul Walker, Ramon.
I think it was 4.
Yeah, it was at least 4 where they were just like, let's do it. And that's another one where you're like, I'm sorry, what? At what time in Las Vegas like in the heart of Las Vegas are you just racing through the lights? Like there's no time of day ever or night.
Yeah, so
well, it's not too hard if you just take it a quarter mile at a time.
Well, I mean that's life in general, yeah.
Also, like the kid gets into a truck and hits one of the bad guys, like one of the enforcers with it. But like the way they show the shot is the kid's driving straight and somehow the guy is like tumbling directly behind the car. And I was like, he would not like that. It just doesn't like the physics would not have put him in that situation. He would either be squished to the ground from this giant truck or he would be tumbling away from the truck. And there is a real sweet scene where the kid's like hiding, like they're shooting like it's not really tear gas because no one's coughing, which I don't understand why the main enemy is wearing a face mask, but he's wearing a just like a rebreather sort of thing, and you just shoot smoke in like smoke grenades. Yeah, and you just shoot smoke grenades all over this parking lot, and the kid is hiding beneath like a tundra. And like the shot is just him crouched like against it, and then just like that decal on the car is like half of the screen. just and then he like crawls under the car and hides down there. But then at some point,
this car's strong.
Yeah, but then at some point he gets out from underneath the car, and I was like, this guy, like he's wearing a gas mask, but that doesn't help you see better in smoke. So just stay under the car, idiot.
What experience do you have, Steve? Sounds like you don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough.
So overall, I mean, would you ever watch this movie again? Would you have gone to see it now that you know what was in it?
Yeah. I think the movie was pretty solid. Like, it's just like a couple things where you're like, guys, come on. Like, it doesn't take that much to like make sure that these sort of things make sense.
I'll ask you a question. It's from a different, cast. I won't, reference them. But I think this is a good, scale. If you woke up and you were in the theater and this movie was playing, would you sit there and watch it again, or would you leave?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely what?
I would definitely watch it again.
Okay, all right. All right. There you go.
Hey, you go for it, Tyler.
All right. This movie is pretty stupid. I mean, I said dumb about Underworld. I mean, but I was being pretty honest about this movie. It was serviceable. When I said it was, that demographic it was shooting for, I think that it was looking for that demographic and it did it well. There's one thing that was just Lucas Till was a asshole. Like he was. It reminded me of, and I'm gonna reference.
So like charging $360 of gasoline to someone and not telling them about it.
Yes, that is one part. It reminded me of, and I'm going to reference a show that I really like called 30 Rock, where there's an episode of that show where Liz is going to go to, the main character is going to a high school reunion, and she's like, oh man, everybody was so mean to me because I was a nerd. And then at the end of the episode, you find out that nobody was mean to her. She was just a bitch to everybody.
Yeah.
That is what Lucas Till was. Like, people were like, oh, I want to hang out with you all the time. And this girl, the main girl, the Don't Breathe girl, was like so clearly wanting his dick, like the entire movie. And he was just so like, oh, fuck everybody. Like, he was just like, yeah, I don't care what you're saying to me. Oh, yeah, no, I don't care. I'm an outcast. Fuck you. Like, it's like, no, you're being an asshole right now. Like, he was so clearly being an asshole that I was shocked about a lot of it. And there were scenes where he was like a character was talking and he would be like looking in the other direction, stone-faced, clearly not paying attention. Just,
although I don't think he could do anything but stone-faced, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's just That's just the important things we want to teach our children.
Yeah,
That kind of makes me still want to see it more, though.
No, yeah, exactly. I felt like that would be, and yeah, the him not saying, he did not tell that girl how much that cost. Like, he did one of those. They pulled up to the gas station. He did one of those where he's like, like patting around his, I can't, and she just pulls out her card and he's like, oh, thanks, and doesn't even like say, are you sure? He just goes, oh. And grabs her card, swipes it. Like I said, swipes it like he's never dealt a swiping anything ever. And so like fumbles it, doesn't do it quick. I'm surprised that it read because he kind of like put it in, waited a few seconds, pulled it out, but then it didn't come out all the way. And then he was like, then he like fumbled it. And then it was like 300 something bucks. And he just looked at him and went, ooh. And then got back in the car, and that was the end of the scene. And mind you...
Was she Rob Lowe's daughter in the film? Like, I feel like that is just a thing that might have happened.
No, she was not, surprisingly. It was really weird. She was like a tutor. She wasn't connected to anything, and it felt like she was like, her parents owned a farm, but then at the same time, it felt like she didn't have parents because she just did whatever the fuck she wanted. And
you know what they say about farm parents? They're not. No, like they don't have time to pay attention. No, of course not. Like there's nothing. Like,
okay.
Farm parents are fine. They instill work value.
Is this all everything? Is
That's
everything?
A long thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, is everything you just said what they say about farm parents?
In quotations.
Oh, all right. Write that down, folks.
You know what they say about farm parents? They're like, they're kind of like
they don't have time.
They let you do. Yeah.
Of course, that's not what they say.
I actually have that in Latin tattooed across my chest.
And oh man, I feel like there was a moment where there were at least 2 or 3 moments where I genuinely laughed. The one that I specifically remember was a Tom Lennon moment. He played a scientist, and it was funny because him and Rob Lowe both. Honestly, I don't think there was a scene where Rob Lowe had with any other actor in the movie besides Tom Lennon.
It's in his contract.
Yeah, probably. But there was a scene because they essentially kind of recruit Tom Lennon because Tom Lennon's a scientist and he realizes that there's like the creatures are actually smart. They have a hive mind. There's all this stuff. So as a scientist, he's super interested. He's like, no, I don't want to just kill these creatures. Like they should still live. And so he kind of sides with Lucas Till. And
also as a regular person.
Yeah, exactly. And so he sides with them, and he kind of helps escape the 2 creatures that were captured by the oil company. He helps release them, and he brings them, and they've souped up these 2 other trucks to help fit
by
them.
souped up, you mean emptied out.
Yeah, well, and also there's different souped up stuff, and Lucas Till's like, you said they have a hive mind, right? So they know what they're supposed to do because, the one that I have knows everything, so it's all good. And he's like, oh, you want me to help? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, which one do you want? And Tom Lennon, I almost said John Lennon, God damn it. And Tom
You're welcome for that.
And Tom Lennon is like climbing up this super, high suspension. So it's like a monster truck. Fucking play on words. And he climbs through the window because the window's like down. And so he like just slides through that as Lucas Till's talking, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he gets in the car and then opens the door from the inside and just goes, "Oh, this opens," and closes again. And that made me laugh because it was one of those where he was like trying to be like, "Oh, I got to slide through the window. Oh, nope, this door just opens. I could have just done that like a normal person." And that was just one of those moments where I was like, "Oh, this guy's a funny guy. Like he does good." But yeah, the movie was just so. It was a paint by numbers Nickelodeon type movie. If I was, like I said, if I was in that age demographic, I would probably be like, "This is great! Like, oh, give me all the merchandise."
Yeah.
But
So I don't think I made a wrong choice. I just don't think there was really a right choice to make.
You made the wrong
fine.
choice.
I can't wait to go to work.
Mine had a trailer for John Wick, so
Mine had nothing but like
That would only hurt that movie.
That's why I didn't mention it because I thought you'd be like, that just makes me want to watch John Wick.
Mine only had children movie trailers. Apparently, there's going to be a Nut Job 2.
Oh, good, that happened.
Yeah.
Thank God the funding pulled through.
Puts it in the Over the Hedge universe.
Yeah, apparently
Wait, is it?
No, Over the Hedge is not the nut job. They're two
No.
different.
I just Charlie said they were the same universe, and I thought that's.
I was lying.
I mean, but it's one of those things that is reasonably believable.
There was
Yeah.
every single trailer before this movie was for an animated movie. Like, there was no live action film trailer before this. There was one about a dog that was like trying to play music. There was one about the Nut Job 2, which I was just like, oh, gee, I forgot there was a Nut Job 1.
Everyone.
I mean,
got to be like Ice Age 23 by now,
well,
right?
I mean, the subtitle for Nut Job 2 might as well have been like the Nuttening. Like, I don't remember what the subtitle was.
When
like,
I went to go, I can't remember what I saw, but I went to see something when a father in front of me was taking his son to see Nut Job 2, and as
you mean 1? Because
Nut Job 1, and as
the Nut Job 2, get nutted on.
as I was in line, I was just ripping on Nut Job so bad. I was like that movie looks so phoned in and terrible. Like it just looks like whoever has I was just destroyed.
What
like
kind
just,
of piece of shit parent would take their kids? To
No,
do
I
that?
was like whoever ends up seeing that is just gonna just not enjoy
one-
themselves. And this dad basically just turned and looked at me for a second and turned to the
Like,
woman
he was like,
and was like 2 for Nut Job and walked away, and I turned to the person I was with and I was like, you think that he thinks that I'm a jerk, but he just
knowingly
he
bought.
he gave me that look that was like, I agree with all of the things you say.
The only good.
Dude, but that could have been so much worse, though. If your worst thing you said is, man, if they buy tickets, they're not gonna enjoy it. So you
No.
that
is like the kind of thing I said. I wasn't like, man, idiots are going to see that. Like I was just like, whoever ends up having to see that. Like that movie's so for kids that the parents are just going to just hate being in that film.
It was a try-hard trailer where there was stuff that... Oh, there was also a trailer for a new Smurfs movie, but there's no live action in this Smurfs movie. And it has Jack McBrayer.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And then the only trailer that I
Not for
was
this
like,
film, but I
oh,
saw
sweet, I'm glad I'm seeing this trailer again, was the Lego Batman movie trailer, where I was like, oh, nice. That's the only one where I don't know if I even laughed at that just because I've seen it already, so I was like, oh, I know this stuff.
You know all the jokes.
But I was glad to see it, so I was like, oh, hey, I'm glad that this is one of the trailers instead of all just... Oh, Eddie Izzard is a dog teaching another dog how to be a rock and roll star.
Wait, Eddie Izzard?
Yes.
Okay. That's like when George Carlin was Mr. Conductor on.
Well, I mean,
on
Eddie Izzard,
Station.
but Eddie Izzard is a rock and roll star.
I know, but but when I think Eddie Izzard, I think definitely kids movies.
Well, that's the thing. The whole trailer, I was like, man, because he plays the rock and roll character that the dog is looking up to, and he was talking. I was like, man, this voice sounds so familiar. And at the end, it listed all the voices, which, by the way, is insane for a children's movie. There's one of them said, I think it might have been this one. It said from the co-director of Toy Story 2, and my first thought was because anybody knows who that is. This is a children's movie, even if you're trying to reach out to adults. What adult can be like, oh shit, the co-director from Toy Story 2? No, nobody.
No, here's the thing. They're like, it's so kids can be like, Toy Story 2, I love that movie. This movie's going to be Toy Story 2.
I feel like it'd be most... Oh, hey, Dad, what did that say on the screen right now? Because
Dude,
it was...
I heard they were trying to get Jim Morrison to do a part, but he wouldn't pick up his phone.
He probably doesn't. Anyway, let's just move on from all these stupid trailers. We're not even. Let's go to the. What do you want to hear, Charlie, first of the Rotten Tomato scores and all that stuff?
Whatever tab you got pulled up already.
All right, Monster Trucks it is.
Shenanigans.
So Monster Trucks is at a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, dubs.
Which is at a average 4.5 out of 10. Reviews, there are 73, which means 24 are fresh and 49 are rotten. The critics' consensus is, and I'm kind of reading at a further distance than I normally do, so hopefully I do.
I'm kind of reading at a first grade level.
Which is what I normally do. Despite flashes of inspiration, the singularly high concept monster trucks shows that it takes more than monsters and trucks to create a compelling feature film. And I read that as slow as I could to make sure that I was getting every word right.
That was a positive review. No.
That was the critics' consensus. Let's get some. I haven't even looked over some.
Well,
of these
I'm glad
reviews.
that it took this movie to tell them that, because beforehand they weren't sure. They're like, hell, you probably could make a pretty compelling story with just monsters and trucks.
Here's a negative review. Your little ones could do worse than seeing monster trucks.
That's the raving review I want about my product. Could do worse.
A positive review is a luminous and fortunate film around the memory of 80s cinema. All right. Another positive is Monster Trucks is an okay kids movie that lacks most of the substance of the classic 1980s Amblin Productions it tries to emulate. I didn't know it was trying to emulate anything other than...
Yeah, sure.
It's like Gremlins without the murder.
I'll read one more negative review
And the
here.
Gremlins.
A negative review here is Monster Trucks with real monsters inside isn't the most complex concept, and nor are the exploits that result. I feel like I should read one
And
more.
nor.
Yeah, and nor. No, I read that correctly. That's why I stopped, because it didn't seem right. I'll read one more negative
There's
review.
nothing more glorious than just Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
CGI creatures have more personality than the humans. Characters and logic are sacrificed for images and gags. That's a good one to end that one on. And going on to Sleepless.
Damn.
There's no critics' consensus yet because there have only been 27 reviews so far.
Because all of them were watching Triple X.
Or Monster Trucks. No, Triple X, because they came out the same weekend, right? Yeah, Triple X is more important.
Wait, no.
Double feature.
Triple X just came out this weekend.
Sleepless came out last weekend?
I think so.
Okay, they're probably all watching what came out last weekend. The Founders. What's the Hidden Figures?
Hidden Figures?
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so there's no critics consensus, but it is out of 27 reviews counted, it is at a 15%. So a 4.2 out of 10. 4 fresh.
Yikes.
23 rotten. So my film is rated
marginally
higher,
better.
Yeah, but I mean, I also have about 40 more reviews.
I claim that those were reviews filled out by 14-year-olds.
Some of these are just too long. Why can't you guys make more soundbite type reviews? A rotten review here is Cop Picture Cliches is an altogether ridiculous package. A positive review is, though it suffers from minor plot inconsistencies and some shaky camera work, this thriller offers a fun, entertaining B-level story. The terrific characters help fill in the blanks. And then I'll give one more negative review. Sadly, even though the foggy recollection of the original is better than this bloated bastardization, apparently this is a remake?
Huh. Oh, I forgot to say that, like, at the very when his son gets kidnapped, Jamie Foxx also gets stabbed in, like, the side, and he's just dealing with that the whole movie. And I'm like, he would have passed out to blood loss by now, because he is not taking care of that properly. Oh no, that's the most unbelievable scene in the movie. He's patching up his stab wound in the bathroom at the police station, and it's just like, I feel like there's got to be a better place to do this than a place where someone would clearly ask questions about this.
Nah, dude. It's no big deal. It's standard day-to-day police working,
Okay, so I did some research here. I don't know if you call it a full-on remake as far as more as of an adaptation, but it was a French film in 2011 called Sleepless Night, is what it takes its... So
we got a real 9 Lives situation going on here.
Yeah, where there's a whole bunch of, inspiration and adaptation and...
Well, from a French movie originally.
Was 9 Lives originally a French movie, or is that a...
Yeah. That was the first thing I said. It was a French comedy being remade, and it's like, What?
Stall for a little bit, and I'll look that up just to make sure.
Yeah, just confirmation. We'll check that here in a minute.
9 Lives.
There are
don't know if it
so
was,
many.
like,
There
it
are
was probably
so
something.
many options.
Oh
for
shit!
9
No,
Lives.
9 Lives. I clicked on the 2016 film, a French comedy film.
Oh snap!
So wait, what?
There-
No, wait. I think that
Oh, no, it is a French comedy.
Yeah,
but
it
it's
is.
just the movie.
yeah, it is a French comedy film, but it's an English language French comedy film.
That's right. My bad.
What?
Well worth mentioning again, though.
Always.
I
No,
am thoroughly confused by all of that.
there were
Dude, I remember it was the first thing I brought up because I had to come up with something since I didn't watch the end of the fucking movie.
there was a moment in this movie because this movie Monster Trucks was like an hour and 45 minutes. There were moments where I was like, man, I've watched 30 minutes of this movie and nothing has happened. Should I just walk out of this? And I was like, no, I can keep this. We can't do another 9 Lives.
The movie should be like a cool 83 minutes.
I also thought about that because I couldn't find a torrent of it. The only torrent I could find was a Spanish language, non-English dubbed version. That was the only torrent that I could find. Was
You can work with that, right?
yeah, just listen to a Spanish. And I was like, man, should I just not watch this movie and read the Wikipedia? And I was
Filmed
like, no.
in stereoscopic 3D, and
How
you
much-
don't have the glasses.
How many like pesos of gas would he have bought then?
Oh man, so many pesos. Imagine if that was a yen. Thousands of yen.
It's like 36,000 yen.
Oh boy. All right, so I mean, I think all that matters is that I won. So I'm glad that I tattooed monster trucks to my head. I might just keep this for work tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll
They'll
go
love
well.
it.
I mean, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna fire me because I have a temporary tattoo on my head?
I legitimately don't know.
I don't deal with the public, so
And after tomorrow, they won't deal with you.
yeah, no. With my luck, they'll send me out on site for something and be like, "Oh, Tyler, you need to go." Be like, "Oh, god damn it, where's I gotta bring my hat."
You might get a promotion.
That's true, because yeah, they might be, oh, I love that movie. Man, is there anything?
I cannot imagine that there
You
was
work
any
for a
stone
child.
left. I cannot imagine there was any stone left unturned on this one.
Yeah, really,
No.
we
We were pretty in depth.
this is a longer one. But hey, our longer ones are typically better. So
I mean, I had a great time the entire time.
I guess other than that, Steve, correct me if I'm missing anything. Go check out the At Movie Versus podcast on Twitter or Facebook if you want to see the pictures of my stupid tattoos. They will be posted when this comes out. We will post them. We're not going to post them sooner than that because that would just be dumb.
Because that would be people would be like, I don't know what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. Go check out our Twitter or our Facebook if you want to see those pictures. I might even send who knows, I might send them to Three Wise and say, hey, post these, or just say like, hey, I don't know, because they might be easier to look up. Yeah, whatever. Movie versus podcast. Look at on Facebook. If you search that, just search pages because there's like a bunch of different stupid bullshit to search on Facebook.
That isn't us, which is clearly superior to every other movie versus podcast.
Exactly. You might even just be able to search. Well, the problem is with all those, a lot of times it's like, did you mean movies? We're showing results for movies, and you're like, no, movie versus. I typed what I meant.
Don't sass me, computer program.
But yeah, movie versus podcast on both the socials there. We will post the tramp stamp, the front.
Well, make sure to mark that not safe for work though.
Yeah, no, I'll have to. I don't want people to get fired.
Actually, put a paywall on that.
yeah, they have to pay.
I was gonna put not safe for life.
Only for paying members if they want to see these tats. Yeah, I might even tomorrow, if I end up just keeping this for tomorrow at work, I might just use a picture of me tomorrow at work behind my desk.
That'd be good.
But other than that, if you want to see these pictures, go check it out on our socials. A reminder, we are also, if you're listening to this via like Facebook or something, we are on Stitcher, iTunes, pretty much any podcast app. We're also on YouTube. I know a lot of people like to listen to podcasts on YouTube. So we're available if you want a different medium to listen to us.
Also for birthdays, we're available for
yeah,
birthdays.
just let us know.
I am for sure.
We will be at the birthdays and we will perform. And
Your children might not be into it as other people, but
as us,
we're gonna have a great. We're gonna be talking about movies they will have never heard of.
Am I missing any other social stuff?
Thanks, Jeremy, for the
thank you, Jeremy Lamb, for the theme song. Also, again, the logo, Scott Blackwell did the logos. It's not only the logo for the podcast app and everything that you'll see when you're playing this, but also on our Facebook and Twitter, we have a banner photo that is a little more fleshed out. I would say
pretty.
Yeah, I would say check those out, even if you don't want to see the photos of my stupid tattoos.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, and if you want, he is a professional designer, so if you want to know his contact info, just email us or contact us on the socials. Everything is at Movie Versus Podcast. The email is Gmail, so at movieversuspodcast@gmail.com, all that stuff. Same with the theme song. If that Jeremy Lamb can compose, like he is a musician, so he can do that stuff. If you have interest, you can contact us and we'll hook you up. Is there anything else? Steve, Charlie? Check out Three Wise Radio is what they call themselves now, I guess.
I can't keep track.
Yeah, either Three Wise Radio or Three Wise
I can't keep track of ours. No.
We're on the Three Wise Media Network, so as always, thanks to them. I would like to give a shout out to Good, Bad, or Bad. They're constantly shouting out our podcast.
They are?
Oh yeah. They're another bad movie type. They're a YouTube show.
Constantly, that's all they do.
No,
Yeah.
I watched,
every episode is just movers, link.
What probably happens is they do that when like the thing like go to next episode comes up and I'm like smashing the next next one, boys.
They'll either mention us at the end of an episode or at the very least will be linked in the description of their episodes.
Oh,
so that's
cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to give a shout out to them because I do watch their episodes they release a new episode, I watch them. They're always great. They tear apart movies that are just more obscure, and they have oh man, that was a hiccup they have a good time.
They basically their podcast is like final thoughts the entire time.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun to watch. So I would say go check them out if you haven't already. Man, other than that, is that it, guys? Is that our podcast?
No, I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, definitely. Like we really we used every part of the buffalo on this one.
Bye.
Except the anus.
No, we put a temporary tattoo on that.
Movie Versus is a production of Three Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.